So you've heard over time why I personally have chosen not to do Airbnb. In reality, it's because I don't want to be in the hospitality business. But I talk with lots of other landlords, and we have the one and only Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth. We're going to ask her. She self manages. She has that special touch. She could seriously do it. I'm wondering why she doesn't do Airbnb, aka short term rentals. So Casey, why not Airbnb? You could make a lot more money. I've been told that.
Um, you sure can, and I totally could, especially in Memphis. We've got Elvis, and we've got Beale Street, and I could do midterm rentals. We got some great, good hospitals. I just don't want to do it. And besides, for your same reason, like I don't want to be in the hospitality business. I don't. I hate talking to my tenants as it is when I talk to them. Right? Who wants to answer them? Imagine talking to a new one every 3 days. No, thank you.
Oh, thank
And
you.
so I mean, I can hire it out. I can pay a host 20 to 30% to manage it for me. Sure. But the big reason why I don't is because I am a very risk averse person.
Mm.
And for us, besides when I started my coaching business, we've been on a single income for 10 years. I've been a stay-at-home mom forever. So every dollar that we earned, we wanted to make sure it was a low risk investment, right? We would invest in my husband's 401k, easy, and we wouldn't never max it out. We stopped really contributing so much when we started buying rentals, but long-term rentals are so safe. I am so glad that I did not put all of my eggs into the short-term rental basket like so many people have. Left and right, I am seeing cities, no more Airbnbs, Dallas and the San Bernardino County, California, where I'm from, and all sorts of cities where it's so popular to have Airbnbs, they are saying no more. Imagine if you had built your business and you've retired and you make so much money on your short-term rentals, and all of a sudden, cut off. Can't operate them anymore. They're nice luxury areas, or they're in vacation areas, and they are not going to cash flow as a long-term rental. So what's your option? To sell them. And what if they aren't worth anymore what you bought them for before? Now you're really in a hole. So my advice to people who want to do short-term rentals, but maybe don't have enough money to kind of just like hold them for forever with, it's fine. I mean, if you're rich and you can hold your short-term rentals vacant for 6 months and not feel it, do it. Take the risk, do it. But if you're looking to, I have to make this money, I can't have a vacant property with no short-term rental guests for a month, like it would just kill me. What are you doing to yourself? To me, like that's why, like I wouldn't do it. My rule of thumb is for every 4 long-term rental properties, get yourself a short-term rental,
Hmm.
because it will take about 4 of those long-term rentals to pay for a short-term rental. Obviously, it depends upon the price and all of that. But if you're cash flowing, $300 to $400 a month for one long-term rental, and you've got 4 of those, that's $1,200 to $1,600 a month. Maybe that would pay a good significant portion of your short-term rental if it's on the lower end, if you need help to pay for it. But I personally do not do short-term rentals because the nuts, crazy regulations that are springing up left and right, and we could have another pandemic, we could have another whatever, or economy meltdown like we're kind of having when people are not going on vacation as much. The local people like middle income earners, right, that just are going to go somewhere for spring break. They're not they're not traveling as much. People are losing their jobs a little bit. We're not really hearing about it. So what gets cut first? Vacations. Vacations get cut first. Now the uber rich people, they're always going to have money. They're always going to have money. They're always going to have money. But are they taking the week-long vacation and driving to the beach? No, they're going to Africa on safari. Okay. They're not going to your short-term rental that you have, wherever you have it in Austin, Texas. Like, they're not doing those local vacations that are cheap for lower middle income people. They're traveling on an airplane and they're getting the hell out of here. So
Yeah.
for me, I am just very cautious, and I say, okay, if I cannot afford to hold a property for 6 months vacant with no income and have it not affect me at all, maybe I shouldn't be buying one.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me, you hit it right off the top, is it's a different business. It's even treated differently by the IRS, right? You're in the
Oh yeah.
hospitality business. Dailies, weekly, monthlies, however you choose to do it, it's a different business model. And I don't know if I had to start over, not sure where I would go. But after being in the long-term game for 15 or 16 years, I have zero interest in starting scratch. So I realize, maybe I'm just old or biased or whatever it is. But I see too many people equate short-term rentals with long-term rentals like they're the same. There's almost nothing the same about those two things.
No, no, there's nothing the same. And really, like, do you want a new job, or are you looking to invest your money in like passive income so you can go have time freedom and live your life? To me, doing a short-term rental is just like getting another job. And a lot of short-term rental hosts that I know, they have to do their own cleanings in order to really make the money. It's like, no way, no way, you know? So yeah, no, I don't make as much money with my long-term rentals as I could if they were a short-term. That's true. But I'm also not creating a second job for myself, and a risky one at that, with who knows what could go on with local regulations. Any HOAs could change their minds, and external circumstances like housing crash or another pandemic, they're gonna really force you to pay all those bills on your own. And if people can't afford to do that, and they're really got to rely on that short-term rental income, it's really scary. Like, I talk to a lot of people a lot, and it's short. I want to do short-term rental, short-term rental, short-term rental. I'm like, okay, why? Because I'm working so hard. We can barely save enough money, and they short-term rentals make a lot of money. It's like, okay, so you need something low risk at the moment because you can't afford to take that loss if something happens, which is highly likely. So you're gonna put all your eggs in that basket. Like, it just scares me. Like, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do it, until you can really afford it. If you want to take on the extra job, go for it, but maybe really make sure you can
Re-
afford it just in
remind
case.
remind me, how many units do you have today? Is it 9?
9, including our primary. So we have
Right.
8
So
rentals. Yeah, single
so if you were
family.
going to look at over an average month, because you self-manage, how much time do you collectively put in managing 8 rentals total,
Like
roughly?
0 hours, really. I
So let's call it
mean,
5 hours a month, maybe.
sure,
If you had
maybe.
8 short-term rentals where, your average stay is 3 days. So what is that? 8. So 8 rentals. Let's say you have 5 guests per month. So that's 120 turns. If I'm doing my math right, that feels like a lot more than 5 hours.
That sounds like I'm working really hard. And that's not why I'm buying rentals. I don't want to. I want to go to my kids' baseball games, and I want to swim in my pool during the day, and I don't want to answer the phone, like slower way. Yeah, long-term rentals is a slower way, but it's a for
No,
sure way. I'm going to freaking
yes.
get there, and it's virtually no risk as long as you do it the right way.
Yeah, if you buy right, get the right fixed rate debt, you're a good operator. I
Yeah.
will agree, short-term rentals can make a lot more money. I'm not confused. I do think that too many people are focused on the top line, not the bottom
Mm-hmm.
line. Also, you have extra risks, as you've said. There are cities and towns that are now saying short-term rentals are the reason we have a housing crisis. That's not going to end well. I think there's more regulation, not less, coming. But at the end of the day, if you want to go do short-term rentals, go do it. Just know the risk, run your numbers. I suggest having a plan B in case it doesn't work out, in case there's too many units available. But yeah, I'm just, frankly, I'm lazy. I have no interest.
I am too. I don't want to do the work.
Not that work. I'm okay with what I'm doing. Casey, if somebody
Yeah.
wanted to follow or reach out to you, how are they doing that?
Absolutely. You guys can follow me on Instagram every day at Brick by Brick Wealth. You can visit me on my website to see what I'm up to, brickbybrickwealth.com, and all other social media.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Casey.